Hello.
Welcome back to In Pursuit of Magic, where we explore the things that inspire us, connect us, and the magic we find along the way. I'm Matthew Medina, and today's very special guest is an incredibly talented actor, singer, and dancer born and raised in Puerto Rico and is following her dreams of performing on stage. She's been part of some iconic productions like Pretty Women, Beetlejuice, West Side Story, In the Heights, and Matilda. I'm incredibly excited to welcome Alessandra Casanova. Alessandra, thank you so much for being on. I just looking at your body of work, I'm like, it seems like you've had such a fun journey.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I have. It's been an up and down journey the past couple of
But
years.
yeah, I'm sure we're gonna get into that because that's all part of the experience. There's
Hmm.
highs, there's lows, there's in betweens, and it's just how we make it through to the next one. So I'm really curious.
Yeah.
How did you get your first inspirations when it came to performing? What made you want to perform?
Okay. So love this question because it's Cats the musical. It was Cats because my cousin. So I have like family friends. Like family friends that are you say that you're cousins, but you're like actually not cousins, but you grew up together, like all this
Exactly.
stuff. My cousin, when we were kids, she grew up in New York and I grew up in PR. And she showed me like the DVD of the West End, like 1980s production of Cats that's like made in a movie. And we watched that like religiously. And then ever since, like, that is the bug that bit me when I was a kid. And I started like singing after that. And my aunt also used to sing with me a lot as a kid. She used to sing a lot of Alicia Keys with me. So I started singing with her. But then theater, my cousin gave me that sort of inspiration when I was a kid.
That's amazing because I remember when I was a kid and seeing the commercials for Cats on Broadway, and it's stayed rent free in my mind. It was one of the first things I would see in terms of musicals, like in front of me because it
Yeah.
would be on TV. So I'm curious, what stood out to you the most? Do you think was it the theatricalness? Was it the music itself?
I think definitely the music. Like Andrew Lloyd Webber, I listen to like Sunset Boulevard these days and I'm like, oh my God, it sounds like Cats. Like I love it. Definitely the music, the theatricality of it all. I did not even question like why there was just a bunch of cats dancing on a stage. I was like, I didn't even understand the story of it all until I was like maybe 9 or 10. I was like, I don't understand what the plot is, but I was just mesmerized by the dancing and like the performances. And literally I can recite the whole thing. I could do the whole thing. Like I've seen it so many times.
That's impressive. Yeah, there's rare stuff that I can like memorize from beginning to end. So that's amazing because it shows how
No,
impactful
literally.
it was for you.
It
And
definitely
then,
was. It definitely was. I need to show you this actually.
oh my gosh, you have
How
that.
cute
Oh,
is that?
are those the cat ears at the top? That's so funny.
Yeah, I'm
Oh my
actually
God.
yeah, I'm gonna put it on. I'm just gonna put it on
Rocket, yeah,
for the podcast. Here we are.
exactly.
But literally, like
I love it.
this is my aunt, my cousin's mom, who gave this to me recently, like 2 weeks ago. Because it's still like very
Yeah.
much in my life.
I mean, it basically started off your journey. It's one of your first
Exactly.
dives into the pool of musical theater, which is incredible.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm wondering, after being so inspired at such a young age, where did you get your start? What was your first like role? What was that experience like?
Oh my God, when I was in 4th grade, no, like 4th grade or first, I don't remember, but like super, super early on, my school did Into the Woods Junior because they only did junior shows because they didn't have the budget and or like capacity to do like a full length. Just don't do full lengths. But and I was a forest creature because my school was like K through 12. So they had to include literally everyone. So they were like, okay, we're gonna make up like a forest creature character. So I was just like a fairy or something. And like that definitely also affected me a lot when I was a kid. Like I think I remember telling my mom after opening night, and we only did like 3 shows, like that's how it was. After opening night, that I was like, this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. And then I just never changed my mind. Like I was just like, okay, here we are, we're riding with it. We're just gonna ride.
It's so
But yeah.
funny because it seems like the more people I talk to, it goes either one of two ways. It's either
Yeah.
they kind of were around it, but were like thinking, oh, that's not really me, and then somehow fell into it and then fell in love, or from an early
Mhm.
age just knew. Like they caught that bug and they were like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. And like other
It's
people are like,
so
huh?
right, like, speaking of that, like, my boyfriend is also into acting and theater, and, like, he didn't decide to study it until he was, like, late high school, I think, which is so crazy to me because I don't think I would've decided to do it late high school if I didn't have this, like, whole mindset early on that, like, "Oh, no, like, this is what I'm good for, and this is what I'm just gonna do," you know?
Yeah, I feel like maybe were there things like you surrounded yourself with growing up that kind of just added to that in your drive, your passion, and your path?
Yeah, like, definitely, there was a tight-knit community, like, a drama community in my school that, like, were also very, very obsessed and ended up pursuing it too, which is also, like, helpful. Like, I don't think if I didn't have those people, to look up to in my, like, immediate community, I don't know if I would be where I am today. Like, I don't know if I would've been motivated to, you know, go through the whole college audition process and, like, stay 4 years at a BFA program. Like, it's so hard, but then, like, if you have an example to go after, like, that's kind of what motivates you.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing seeing what's possible through other people and then having
Mhm.
that kind of group of support. And what I keep hearing from people is community is so important. And just being a reminder that you're not alone on the path. It is possible. It's going to be a struggle, but we're all in this in our own way.
Exactly. No, like, we're all gonna live in, like, a stupid apartment in New York, like, we're all it's very it's comforting. Yeah.
And it's almost like a trick because I feel like everyone's path feels solitary. Like it's your own path, your own journey. It's not going to be
Mhm,
identical to someone else. And yet,
mm,
the experience is very similar in terms of the stuff you're going to go through. And
100%.
remembering that is makes you less alone. But I think that's hard to remember when you're in the midst of it, especially because everyone talks about their successes or feeling like, oh, nothing was happening. And then I got my big break. And not so much talking about the in between. Like, how do you get through the day to day? So that's always been interesting to me.
Yeah, it's always, like, I remember thinking, because obviously, like, when I decided to do this, or not decided, but, I was like, "Oh, okay, like, we're gonna spend tuition money on this." Like, I would go to these Q&As or of people, like, at, like, a summer camp or, like, something, all this stuff, and every story was so different, and I don't know how much that would help me, because then it's like, who knows if I'm gonna, like, I don't know, the first week I moved to New York, who knows if I go to an open call and then book Broadway and stuff like that, and then there's people that work 5 years at it and then end up having their big break. Some people aren't on Broadway at all. Like, yeah, yeah, it's all, I don't know how much those stories would, like, help me because, like, I'm like, That's not gonna be me." Like, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
That's why I think it's helpful hearing the in between. I'm curious about what keeps people driven and filled
Mhm.
with that magic when there's not much going on, when you're not hearing back as much, when you're
Oh,
feeling
yeah.
like, am I doing the right thing here? Because those are the most difficult and kind of life changing moments that I really feel like you discover who you are. And again, everyone's experience is
Yeah.
different, but I know that there's some experiences that really test your stamina. They test how much you can like adapt to. And I know that you worked on a cruise ship. So I'm very curious about that because just going on a couple of cruises and seeing the entertainment kind of switch back and forth from onboard activities to being on the stage to this to that, like I just know there's a lot going on. So what was your experience? What was that schedule like? How did you handle it?
Okay, so experience, I would say it's like, even though obviously there was hardships and, like, stuff that, you deal with and whatever, like, 10 out of 10 experience. So happy I did that with my life, like, so, so happy. It was kind of like a serendipitous thing because I never thought I would work on a cruise ship, even, like, being from Puerto Rico, because so many cruise ships stop or leave from there, like, it I was able to go home every Sunday when we were in the Caribbean because my parents would pick me up and I had the day off. Like, it was so serendipitous and crazy. And I so when I got the audition, I had just signed with my agent, um, and I had Beetlejuice has been something I've been working towards for a very long time. What I know now was my, like, showcase song senior year, like, I went in for the Broadway, like, post-COVID revival, like, my first week that I moved in to New York, you know what I mean? Like, it was just that happened, and, I didn't get it, but, like, it was, like, that thing that I was like, "Oh my god, I really, really wanna do this role." I love Tim Burton, I love Beetlejuice, I've loved the movie, the show is incredible. So I saw the audition and my agent was like, "I know we said no cruise ships, but, like, how do you feel about going in for Beetlejuice?" And I was like and I literally, like, Alessandra, so stupid. I was like, "Ugh, I don't know." I was like, "I don't know. I think I had a cruise chef." And then she was like, "Try it. Like, it's for this role that you've been, like, kinda pining for." And I'm like, "Okay." And even the audition process was such a mess because, like, it's sometimes these cruise lines and just, like, companies in general have you auditioning for, like, 5 straight days, like, all day, which is, like that's needs to stop. That needs to end. But my schedule I was going on a trip at the end of the week, like, I wasn't gonna be there for finals, I couldn't go to the initial dance call because I had a headshot appointment that I didn't wanna, like, reschedule, so they had me go in with the boys or, like it was this whole thing that it just kinda ended up working out, and then and I'm so glad it did, like, it was also a lesson of, like, if they really want you, like, they'll make it work, like, if they wanna see you, they'll try and make it work, like, so like, you're allowed to have a personal life as an actor, you don't have to be like on your knees being like, "Yes, I'll be here for 24 hours auditioning for you," like all this stuff. So that was nice to know. But then I ended up getting it, which was like truly insane. It kind of set in like a few weeks into like the onboarding process and I was like, "Oh my god, like I'm going to be blue. I'm going to be painted blue on stage doing this song that I've been singing for years on a cruise ship, like, okay, like, alright. So that was cool. Yeah, it was sick. It was incredible, and I got really lucky with the contract that it was and how long it was, like, truly, it wasn't like a traditional cruise contract. It was only, like, 5 months on board, um, like, at least in this ship and this cruise line, like, I did my only job was to perform. I didn't have to do any extra duties, which is not the case for a lot of cruising contracts, which is something to take note about. Um, but yeah, what was the next one? I don't
No,
remember.
that you perfectly answered it. And,
Okay.
I'm curious about it. What was your most surprising part about that experience, do you think?
I think discovering that I can do something like that because it's weird. It's like it's not a traditional 8-show week. I thought it would be easier. Like, when I heard I think we were in, like, like, the second round of, like, choreo auditions or something for it, and the choreographer, the associate choreographer, um, was like he said something like, "Yeah, it's not 8 times a week, it's 4." And I was like, "4 times a week?" So I was like, "Easy, easy peasy." But then you get on board and then you realize, oh, 4 times a week is 2 shows a night, 2 days in a row of Beetlejuice. The hardest show I've ever done. And that was really, really difficult. Like, it was really, really exhausting. You're also, like, living on a ship, like, my room, my cabin was windowless. Like, it was, like, this thing like, it wasn't bad. I actually, like, enjoyed my little cocoon. But, like, there was stuff to there was some stuff that went along with it that, like, I'm
Yeah.
so proud of myself to have completed it and, like, with flying colors, honestly, like, I felt so good about what I did out there. Um, yeah, and also, I was also a part of this other show on there, like a production cruise line show, like, you know how they always do those,
Yeah.
and I realized that I just really like singing. I just love singing and interacting with an audience. Like, that was also I felt completely artistically fulfilled on that ship, which a lot of people can't say. It's wild.
And
Yeah.
it's amazing that it started out with something that you weren't sure you even wanted to do.
It's like, no, like, just go to the audition. Just go.
Just go.
Just go.
But, the funny part about that is it was it was the setting and the experience that you weren't sure about, and yet it was the show you were dreaming about, and it
Yeah.
happened. And I feel like in so many ways that's almost like a training ground for you because I
Mhm.
could definitely see you now on a Beetlejuice tour or on Broadway doing it because you did it. You did it in also a scenario where it's very difficult to do it. So it's just funny
Yeah.
how life kind of trains you for something that you've been dreaming about.
Yeah, and that's also something to think about, like, what can I get out of this besides compensation, besides, um, like, just, having a job for X amount of months? Um, like, what connections can I make? Like, we ended up working with the associate director and associate choreographer, in throughout the process, which is, like, that's wild. Like, you guys worked on the show on Broadway. It was the same show they did on Broadway, just cut down a little bit. But I saw it on Broadway recently because I have friends in it from my cast that ended up moving towards the tour in Broadway. And I saw it with a group of the cruise line people, and we were all like gagging at how it was the same thing. Like, it was the same thing. And that's also like so gratifying and so like, and I was so proud of myself after I saw that. I was like, I can do this on Broadway. Cause you doubt yourself a lot. And it's
All the
like, I,
time.
I can go there. I can get there.
What do you think is your favorite part of that show that made you love it from the very start, even before you got to be in it?
Um, I think the music, I just think no, yes, the music, yes, the music. I think it's very clever, it's very witty, and also the humor of it all was like nothing I've ever seen on stage. Like, I remember, like, even seeing, like, Something Rotten, which is not the same humor, but it's a along the same sort of, like, we're breaking the fourth wall or, like, we're doing this, like, ridiculous joke that, like, maybe I wouldn't see on stage. Like, Beetlejuice is saying, like, 10 curse words at once. Like, it's like that's kind of I was like, "Ooh, this is an edgy show." Like, this is an edgy show. I wanna be in it. Also, just the design of it all is so amazing. I love how they put a lot of, like, Tim Burton's, like, original design into, like, everything. And it's its own like, I love the movie Down, like, love it. And it's super different from the movie. Like, they make up a lot of stuff, but it works. It's really good. And I think that's what I remember, like, listening to it and being like, "Oh, this is the kind of stuff I wanna do on Broadway." Like, this is the kind of stuff I wanna work on, not so much like Carousel or something, you know?
Completely. And it's funny because yeah, I love the movie too, and then I saw the show and I just thought it was such a complimentary piece that like just supplemented so much more meat into it that maybe there was questions that weren't answered or things that you wondered about and I'm like, "Oh, this was kind of explored more," or "This was a cool dynamic," or "I like seeing that." And I feel like theater gives you the freedom to do that, which is really awesome.
I also think it honors the source material a lot, which is why it has such a big following and fan base, like, people love dressing up as the characters and love going to the shows dressed up, like, it's so cool. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's rare that such an adaptation could be so great like that, where it feels like it goes hand in hand with the original. Um,
Mhm,
and you've also been part of both West Side Story and In the Heights, and
mhm,
just thinking of those two or two big massive pieces in the culture and filled with a lot of Latinos in the cast and the story. I'm curious what the experience was for each of them for you, and did you get something different from each one because they're so different but so similar in some ways, and so I'm wondering what you got from it.
yeah, I for West Side, it's a little different. One, because I was in the Jets, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Um, because it was it was a really special production where it like, in Puerto Rico, the theater industry is growing, like, I would say rapidly. I feel like I see so many things happening from there where when I was a kid, like, where was this? Um, but so they do this big company, does big shows, like, maybe once or twice a year. It's kinda growing a little more as the years go along, but West Side was, like, the biggest one of that year that was going on, and it was really special because it was dedicated to Rita Moreno. She ended up coming to see the show, and Lynn came to see the show too, which is like I can't even believe I even like I did like a high kick in front of Rita Moreno. I was like, what? Um, and also it was an entirely Puerto Rican cast, like an 100% Puerto Rican cast, like people from the island. Um, and that was super special because I never thought I would come back home to do something of like this caliber. Like it's not my first, like I went to school in the States because I couldn't find the program that I wanted to go to at home. I like continue to live in New York because of the opportunities. And then I was like so gagged that my first thing out of college was to go home and do this like such a special show that I had not done yet. And that's the only time I've done it. But then it was silly because then I was like, oh, I'm just like in dance at the gym and cool. Like that's it. But then again, it's like, when will I ever be a jet, you know?
Yeah,
I'll be a
no,
jet
it's
at
true.
home, and that was cool too. And then it was cool to like see I hadn't been in it, so I'd only like seen the movie, like I'd never seen it on stage either. So being kind of like um immersed in the secrets and meanings of like of this play by play, this scene, like I would watch the rehearsals and be like, oh my God, incredible. That was cool. And then also just like connecting with performers from home that I had never met because I left and went to school here and all this stuff. That was super, super special. I made such good artistic friends there that I continue to like see and support at home whenever I'm at home. And it was so special. That was awesome. Yeah. And then in the Heights, that was the first and only time I've done it also. So I was literally like, it seems like a show that like, oh, like she's gonna do it like 20 times in her career. Just the one so far. Um, and I felt so lucky to finally do it and to be a dancer in it too. I've been dancing like since I was 15, kind of hardcore or like regularly, but I wouldn't consider myself, I mean now I would. But at the time I wasn't like considering myself like a dancer. Um, and I was in the ensemble and I was dancing down. And that was also an experience where not only did I prove to myself that I can like be in like this complicated ensemble like piece essentially, um, and also meet other Latina artists, but from the States that I also wasn't tapped into. So I made so many friends and connections from on there too, like people I still see in the city, like I take classes, like it was such I felt like I got my agent from it, from a connection there, like it was like a very this definitely moved me forward. I got paid little to nothing, but it moved me forward career-wise, which is something to take note of too.
Yeah, I feel like that's super important. The experiences and the connections you make with others, especially when it's connections with
Mhm.
people who have a similar start or they come from the same place and they know the experience. That's
Exactly.
really priceless in terms of how important it is. And I feel like that could be hard to find, especially in New York. Like you think you're surrounded by it and you are, but it's
Mhm.
finding those people within such a big place that can be very
Yeah,
difficult. And so that sounds
exactly.
like an incredible experience. I also heard that the crowds in Puerto Rico are incredible. The audience, Didi Romero was on talking about Rock of Ages, and she
Oh my
was
god,
saying the
yeah.
audience was so alive.
Yeah. No, especially if you do like uh a show that like allows that sort of reaction, like they'll go above and beyond with that. Like and it's like I think it comes from like just being grateful to have theater of this caliber like presented to them, or presented to us. Um like the whole thing is like we're bringing Broadway to Puerto Rico. Like we're bringing the same talent that you see out there. Like we have it here. We have it here. We just need to propel it forward. And I think a lot of people always feel that. Like true, like we're proud people. We really are.
We are.
Like anything we're gonna be like, yeah, yeah. Like so funny.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's so important too. It's just it's such a big expression, and there's love for musical theater everywhere. And I feel like
Mhm.
it shouldn't be just these big cities that are like known for it, because the talent is coming from all over, and so the talent should go all over. And
Yep.
I think it's just beautiful when different places get to experience that. It's especially on that level. Um, and it sounds like your experience was similar on
Yeah.
the other side of it on stage, where you got to experience that from them.
Oh my god, it was incredible. I was like there's a picture of me, like, bowing for, like, our opening night in West Side, and I was literally like, I was just hysterically crying. I didn't plan to, and I don't like crying in front of people, but, like, it was so sick. It genuinely, like, propelled me forward, like, again, I think every single thing I've done, even though, like, in the moment could have been frustrating because of pay or, like, what good is this gonna be to me in the long like, like, every experience will propel you forward. It will, good or bad.
Curious too, because yeah, I think it's easy to get lost in having a goal, which is so important to have the goal and to have the dream. And sometimes the journey to get there is not the same path you thought it was going to be. And it's easy to get lost in that. And it seems like in terms of your journey and a lot of people's journeys that I hear about, the journey that takes like a right turn somewhere or goes off the path a bit ends up being even better than they thought it would be. Like it somehow brought them to that same point that they wanted to get to anyway, just in a different
Mm,
way.
totally, totally. And, like, I don't know, I can think of so many moments in my early I mean, bit like being, like, graduated for only, like, 4 years, my early career, um, that I don't know, where I was like, "I'm not gonna do this." Like, it's not like, I have friends that are getting paid X amount to do a principal track in, like, this, like, decorated theater and I don't know where, and, like, I should be there too, and it's like, "No." Like, I mean, like, yes, I should you should, but then, like, again, I think to me, in the recent sort of years, like, it's important to me to like work the muscle of being a part of something or like just being artistic in any way, creative in any way, like will satisfy me, like no matter the circumstance, I guess. Like obviously, like I mean, fair wages and like being treated well is
Yeah.
very important. But like I did a like in between West Side and in the Heights, I was at home essentially. So it's like almost my entire first year of being outside of college. I was living in Puerto Rico doing shows, which is not what I expected. I did West Side and then I did this new musical. I don't have it in my resume anymore, but I did this new musical called Encanto, Una historia de amor boricua, and I was the principal of it, and it was my principal debut as like a working actor, and like and it was a new musical, budget wasn't a lot, but, like, they made it work, and it's like I was a part of, like, the first true performance of a new musical that's continuing to be developed, like, that's so incredible. That's so cool, and it was like I got to sing in, like, the oldest theater in Puerto Rico as, like, like, I was the protagonist, like, that's so cool, and initially, I was like, "I don't know if I wanna stay here and stay here for more months, and, like, I should be in New York, like, auditioning and chasing these opportunities," and it's like, I'm so glad I did that too, you know?
Yeah, I think especially because it would have been easy to just go back to New York and just keep trying to get something else, and then you would have missed out on the experience you had, which I think also not only creatively got your muscles moving, but also seemed like it fulfilled something by being at home and just having that time in between stuff to be the protagonist, to like take on something new that you hadn't done before.
Exactly, exactly, like, it was a I also proved to myself that, like, I can be the protagonist. I can lead a show. I totally can. Um, and it's also, like, my whole family could come see me. Like, they couldn't come see me in, like, college, like, I'm talking, like, my grandma, I'm talking, like, you know, like, distant relatives that just, like, pulled up, like, they're not gonna come see me in Syracuse, like like, that was super, super special too. That was very, very special.
Yeah, and you never know when you're gonna have that opportunity again, which is part of what's making it so incredible. Um,
Exactly, exactly.
and then you also, we're talking about how it fulfilled a lot of stuff and kind of fulfilled those creative passions that you have. And so I'm curious if that also goes into when you're having hard times, when you're having those lows, when you're maybe thinking like, "Oh, what do I do next? I'm trying so hard. Nothing's happening." There's a lot of closed doors in this industry, but also any kind of creative industry. There's a lot of closed doors, or a lot of no's, or a lot of not hearing back at all. And so what keeps you moving forward and overcoming those moments when it could be really solitary, it could feel very lonely?
Yeah, I think especially these past couple of months, like, after finishing Pretty Woman, like, um, it's been, like, especially slow in the audition world sort of here. I mean, there's stuff happening, but it's, like, not like I like, 2 years ago, it was like bam, 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 thing after thing after thing, and I did kinda go to a lower point after that because it's like your brain is thinking, what am I gonna do next? Like, what do I like, first and foremost, I need to find a job. I'm back in New York. I need to find a job like ASAP that works with auditions and that like all the stuff. And like point blank, if you're not going into auditions, like if they're not calling you in, like nothing's gonna happen, you know? Like so it's been an especially kind of slow season for me personally. And like I think it's really easy to go down a rabbit hole of like that was it. Like that's the last thing I did. And I'm not gonna like some people don't work for a year, some people don't work for 3 years, and like that might be my case. Like and like kind of accepting that in a way and also talking about it with other people. Like it's not good to, like, keep these feelings to yourself because like, some of the stuff that I was thinking of myself is, like, so ridiculous, like, so ridiculous. Like, what do you mean? Like, "Oh, I've been back in New York in 2 months, and I haven't booked anything, and I don't have anything coming up," and it's like, "Chill, girl, you were gone for 5 months on a bus and truck tour." Like, you can take a second. You can take a moment. It's not the end of the world. It really is not. So that's something I've been struggling with personally this past fall. But but we're chugging along. We're gonna keep on moving on.
Well, what's so interesting about you talking about that experience too is, so many people talk about how in the industry you constantly have to prove yourself to others, even when you're already doing the thing. You could be in the middle of some great role and still have to prove yourself in to get another role. And it seems like in your experience, not only have you had that, but you've been proving a lot to yourself. And I
I
think
have
that's been super important because I think in these low moments, you've already proven it to yourself. You know you're capable of it. You know you can do the thing. And clearly other people see that. And so sometimes I guess it's a matter of the right thing coming along at the right time, which seems to be the case a lot. And
yeah.
it's not always maybe what we think it is, but I have faith because you've proven it to yourself. You've shown you can do it. So I know the next thing is going to be something that is very fulfilling for you. And I hope that you just remember that part, that you've proved it to yourself already. You've done the work. So
Yeah.
just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I will. The mind is a powerful thing. The mind is a powerful thing.
It is. But you're right. Talking to others is part of what helps. You need that sounding board. You need to know your experience is not just you. Because yeah, when you're alone with your thoughts, that's the worst time. Sometimes you need to be reminded because you're your own worst critic too.
Definitely, definitely, and this is the worst critic of all, this one right here. Uh, but but yeah, like, I'm still as, like, a person that's still kind of relatively new to this world here, like, I am working through that personally. I don't have the answers, but, like, it's
There's
something
no
that it's like,
definitive answer. Yeah. I mean, I think you said it both best because I was going to ask what advice you would give to others who are going through it. And I think you said the best thing. Talk to others. Like,
talk
don't
to
be alone
others.
with those thoughts. You're not the only one dealing with it. And it's
Like,
important
it's
to
actually yeah. Yeah,
no,
it is kind of just,
yeah.
like, so how like, yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say. I'm just agreeing.
Well, no, even just the friendships you were talking about and making other shows that now are here in the city. Like I can see how that may be so helpful
Mhm.
in the everyday, even just a process going to auditions and being like, I think I did great, or I don't know if I how I did that one felt off,
Yeah.
or practicing with people maybe, but I can see how all of that would be helpful to your experience because yeah, doing it alone, I keep hearing the quote, like, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. And it seems to be
So,
really true.
so true.
And you just mentioned coming off of also Pretty Woman. What
Mm.
was that experience like? That's another like iconic Like story.
Before I get into it, I have to say, like, my boyfriend is so funny because it's like my sort of journey out like after the ship has been like I have ended up booking something that'll take me away for a long time, and it's, like, comforting to know that I have something going on, whatever, 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 and he was like and I came back from Pretty Well, and he was like, "Babe, like, it's your movie musical booking time, like, y" like, 'cause every single thing I've done is a movie musical, literally every single thing, so it's so funny, but that experience was interesting. Um, like again, I'm not someone that is like, I regret that. I definitely, again, made such good friends that I continuously see almost all the time. I had two other Puerto Ricans that I didn't know before in that cast from the island that have since become like they were my rocks during that. But it was tough. It was a non-union bus and truck tour that like it was the last 5 months of the tour in existence, so they're like, that company was trying to get a lot of shows in, um, which meant that we were traveling almost every day, and we had, like, one-nighters all the time, and we weren't in the same place for more than, like we only had maybe, like, 3 one-week-long sits, which felt, like, incredible, to, like, not
I'm
have
sure.
to whatever. And then there was busing into shows, like, there would be times where we were on a bus for 5, 6 hours, and then we get to the hotel, and then, "Oh, you have an hour before we have to go to the theater." It's like, "Oh, okay." And the locations were a little iffy too. It was, like, the middle of winter. Like, I spent my 25th birthday in Wausau, Wisconsin in February. Like, it was cold. So, definitely, I think the most, like, emotionally taxing thing I've done the show itself was fun. It was a good time. But the everything off stage was a struggle in a way. But I will say it would have been just, like, so much worse if I didn't have the cast that I had and made the friends that I made. Like, truly everyone that's community. The cast on a non-union tour is community
Yeah.
because we need to support each other. Like, it was
Yeah.
really tough. It was really tough. Um, but again, like it happened, I got it, and I was like, "Oh my god, I have a chance to go on tour." Like, "Oh my god, here we go." Like, "Here we are. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna be a bit of a yes man right now." Like, fuck it. And we went to Mexico, which is also super cool. That was really, really cool. But yeah, and it was cool to learn about what goes into a traveling show. It is so much, so many facets. Even like a show that like the set fits in like set costumes and everything fits in 3 trucks. Like it was really interesting. And then you get to be buddy buddy with the crew. You get to like because you like are with them all the time and like and again I made so many connections from that like that continue to like be strong. Yeah. I will say make hair and wardrobe in Pretty Woman. The supervisors were incredible, and I'm always buddy buddy with my wig and wardrobe supervisors because I just like that's just who I gravitate towards
Important
anyway
too.
most of the
Yeah.
time. No, important, right? Like important. But that was like they were awesome. They were awesome. So that was it was an interesting time. I'm really glad I did it, and it's also, financially an opportunity to save more money, which is always something that we need to think about. Um, but but yeah, it was kind of like again, ensemble track, like I was kind of like living my life. And I found ways to also make it really, really interesting for myself because it was kind of the most shows I've ever done of one thing. Because Beetlejuice we did of course, a ton of times throughout the 5 months, but it wasn't a traditional 8-show week continuously. Um, so it was nice to then, again, prove to myself that I can do an 8-show week, and then some, like, and then also put travel on top of it, and and all this stuff. And it was a test of like how much like need to take care of myself when I'm performing. Like I really like you need like 8 hours of sleep. Like you must. I'm 25. I'm getting old, but like it's starting to like it was a
Catch up.
learning experience in that way. And the next time I go on tour, like I have all these ideas in my mind of what I should do and like how I'm gonna live my life and like all this stuff, blah 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 blah. So yeah, I'm glad I did it. I'm really glad I did it, but it was difficult, very.
It's so funny because that's a very common experience when I've talked to others about tours, and it always seems like tour is a training ground to prepare you for the next thing. And
I genuinely think like if someone sees a tour on your resume, like they're gonna be like, oh, this person can handle things.
yeah,
This person can.
exactly. I think it's such a big part of your journey because yeah, you can roll with things. There's going to be changes last minute. There's going to be running late to places. There's going to be things that pop up that are wrong today because you're in a different place than you were the other day.
Oh yeah. There's gonna be like split shows, split tracks, like anything. And these companies, like no tea, no shade, but like these companies, like they will do everything and anything to not cancel a show, you know? To not. So like if you're gonna be doing half of this person's track because both swings are already in and you have to do this set change and do all that, like, you know what? Yes, I will. Just take me there. Just, whatever.
It's all the magic of the stage, which
Yeah, and it's
I'm
also like the moments where it's like, "Oh, I'm so proud of these people. I'm so
yeah,
proud that we, like, pulled it through." Like, we gave these people a show that they paid to see, like, and it worked out.
which is funny because yeah, they say the show must go on, but they don't make it clear how much can still happen and it still goes on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you talk a lot about all the fulfillment you feel in performing in different aspects, whether it's singing, acting, dancing, and of course with community. And I'm wondering where you find the most magic when it comes to performing. Is it on the stage, off the stage? Where do you feel it most where you're like, I'm home?
Ooh, that's a really good question. And I'll say this, I love because at a certain point, once you start performing it, like, at sometimes it's just gonna be like, "I'm just gonna get through this show." You know? Like, it's a job too, so it's like, some days it's like, I'm just gonna go and show up and do my job, and maybe I won't feel the magic today. But, I remember thinking I love rehearsal processes, I love, like, a read through, like, ugh, love those moments of, like, first day or like a sits probe. I've, like, barely had sits probes in my career, which is so sad because I love them. That's definitely a moment. That's definitely a moment that I feel that. And then also just like tech sometimes, while it's daunting, um, it's a really fun time to like have time with your costumes and like have like practice what you're gonna do up here, like do all this stuff. I'm gonna take my pictures and I'm gonna like really live in this moment because then once the show is running, it's go, 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 go. And then it turns into like a job. Um, but then for Pretty Woman, I remember we were in like hour like 9 of tech or something, and it was nearing New Year's, like, it was this whole thing, um, and but I remember thinking to myself, like, everyone was so tired, like, we were all like, "Whatever," but I remember thinking to myself, I was like, "Oh my god, I'm genuinely so happy I'm here," like, this is so, like, chuggy and, like like, I don't know, whatever, but I truly remember thinking to myself, like, "I'm so happy I'm here. I'm so happy I'm in a theater, in a costume, in a wig." Like ready to do this little ensemble track that might not seem like a lot, but I made, oh my god, the best out of it. Like I was ridiculous in that ensemble. I was like, it was so fun. And it's those moments too, where like you're just kind of you're not like go, 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 go. Cause honestly, sometimes when I perform, it's like I black out of it. Especially with Beetlejuice. Oh my god, I was blacking out like all over. um but yeah, and then also I think the closing night of something or opening night, like these big moments are also so exciting. Like, "Oh, this is the last time I'm gonna hear this person sing it through the monitor." Like, I'm gonna listen instead of putting my headphones in for this break that I have, like, stuff like that. That's where so you know what? Everything.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, it seems like all these different parts have different
mm,
magical elements to them and give you
yeah,
something
definitely.
different to kind of slow down, take it in, and kind of just
Yeah.
wrap yourself in it, which is really beautiful. And it now makes me wonder how you hope to create magic for others.
Oh, I something I've realized in the last couple of years, but more so now, I work in childcare these days, and I would love to be able to teach or to coach or to, like, work in, like, high school theater at some point for a time. I don't know, like, I think that's super special. I definitely wanna end up doing that. Um, like, it would just bring me so much joy, I think. And not being like, "Oh, this is me and this is what I did," and, like, all this stuff, but, like, giving the youth advice that I wish I maybe heard or, like, kind of a lot of people I know talk about reinventing what it is to, like, grow as a musical theater performer. Like, it used to be, like, 10 years ago, like, I had a completely different mindset of, like, what I would be doing because I was like, "Oh, a musical theater performer, like, I have to wear laducas and I have to wear tights and I have to, like, do all this stuff," but, like, so many people are doing, like, the most to, like, welcome everything and everyone, and that's something I would wanna preach for sure to the youth. So I definitely education, like, theater education is something I'm super interested in doing, and my boyfriend is actually in that too. He teaches improv at a high school, and he is, like, just so fulfilled with that. Like, that's so cool. I think that's so cool. And to, like, instill, um kinda like not intense, but, like, teaching early on instead of just being like, "We're just gonna put on this play and, like, that's gonna be it," but, like, being like, "This is what it is to, like, do this. Do you wanna do this? Yeah. Do you wanna do this for the rest of your life?" Yeah.
I think that's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, I used to work in childcare, so I know
Yeah.
how awesome that experience is to work with kids, and
I mean, like,
you get so many different types of personalities, so it's all over the place. But I think it's amazing, especially in this field where you would, like you said, give them certain advice that maybe you didn't hear or people don't talk about enough. That's something that I really love getting people to talk about when they come on, stuff that isn't talked about as much but should be because I think it'll be helpful to other creatives, other people trying to make something happen. Um,
mhm.
but yeah, I think that's a beautiful thing. And I think you have a lot to share already, and you're really at the start of your career, which is incredible. And it
Eh,
just makes me wonder in terms of your dream roles, are there any other shows that already exist out there that you would love to be part of one day? Or is there a role that maybe hasn't been written yet that you would love to play?
I'm not that creative. I have no idea. But, there's a bit. I mean, like, it's always been, like, when I was in high school, I was like, "Oh my god, I wanna be Nina. I wanna be Nina and In the Heights." Like, I just wanna, like, sing that beautiful music, all this stuff. I've grown into a Vanessa, so that's what we're going for. I mean, like, I've been lucky enough to do one of my dream roles. Like, Miss Argentina is a dream role. Look at this. This is embarrassing, but hey.
I love it.
So, I think, I can describe something like I love since graduating, I know that I thrive in, like, comedy and comedic, like, kind of like a comedic character that sings down and has her little fun part. That's what Miss Argentina is. Um, like, and I also had the opportunity to do it, but I wanna do Mrs. Wormwood, like, proper. Like, I understudied Wormwood in college, but I wanna do it proper. I think that is such a good role. Matilda is such a good show. Oh my god, so good. So something like that, like, something along the lines of, like, I my inspirations in theater, kind of like what I try and emulate, is Leslie Kritzer and Leslie Margarita. Love them both. They're so cool. So, like, something along the lines of that, like, I just wanna do something like that. I can't think of anything at the top of my head, which is so annoying. But but yeah, yeah, I'm trying to think of something.
Well, I think it's perfect because everything you're mentioning falls in line with a lot of the stuff you've been doing. I feel like you're working towards these other roles already. Like you're halfway there, if not more.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's
Hopefully, yeah.
amazing.
We'll
I'm
see.
curious
And yeah,
also, last question, but would you be in Cat?
you if I could, I don't think I can. Oh my god. I was like I had one audition for it to, like, film it for Royal Caribbean because they do cats there, and I saw the audition, I was like, "I can't do this." Like, I haven't taken ballet in, like, so long. I wish I could, but you know what? Yes, I do. Yes, I will, and I'll be Grisabella when I'm a
Yeah,
little older.
I'm
So
telling you,
the answer
things
is
have a
yes.
way of coming back. So it's waiting for you. It's gonna come back when you're ready.
No, truly, truly. I so often feel like, I have been working pretty well and being a part of really cool stuff, but, like, I just think once I'm older, there's so many roles for, like, older women, you know? Like, I'm kind of, like, okay being like, "I'll do that eventually." Like, Death Becomes Her, I'll do Death Becomes Her when I'm older. I will. Like, Death Becomes Her is a good one, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing because you have these roles that you can work towards, and you're like, I'll get there. Like I'm gonna do that when I'm that
Yeah.
age, when I get to that point.
Exactly.
Well, Alessandra, thank you so much for being on. It was such a pleasure learning about your journey and what you're in the middle of, and the magic you're creating and experiencing. And I just know this is the start of your career, so I'm excited to follow you and the next things you do. Um, Especially, a fellow Puerto Rican. I'm cheering you on
Hey.
always. You are a magic maker, and I want everyone out there to also go out there and do some magic. See you
Yeah.
guys.